This is television for the Isles of Scilly, brought to you with Worldwide Financial Planning, Truro and Penwith College, and the Scilly Lottery. From Radio Scilly, this is scillytv.com. Scilly has been awarded a £100,000 grant which could be used to fund a full-time counsellor to look after the well-being of teachers at the school and the pupils. The cash has been given to each local authority to target mental health support in schools. Bryce Wilby is head teacher. Bryce says the counsellor services would be much better delivered here on the islands because at the moment youngsters need to travel for them. A St Mary's man who stood for election to the Co-op's Advisory Regional Board got 80% of the 700 island votes, but a mainland applicant got more and was elected. Alan Davis says he now wants to create a group that will push for change within the St Mary's supermarket. He says he's no issue with what happens locally, but the regional policy over the sale of goods is unfair. He claims the Co-op markup prices more than the normal freight rates, and he doesn't want the store stocking goods like hardware, which compete with other island shops. There are areas where rats have been eradicated on the Isles of Scilly, but now wide-reaching plans to exterminate them everywhere on the islands have been put forward at a consultation at the Old Wesleyan Chapel. The proposal has been put forward by the RSPB and the Wildlife Trust in order to protect rare seabirds. Elizabeth Bell of Wildlife Management International gained her experience in New Zealand, which is a centre of excellence for the removal of non-indigenous species. The plans worked well on the Bristol Channel island of Lundy. Seabirds that breed here are having their eggs and young attacked. Dr Vic Heaney says it's important to protect them. Elizabeth says the bait, if the plan were adopted here, would be placed in what looks like drain pipes every 25 to 100 metres. There'd be a potential risk to pets like hamsters, though, if they took the bait. But whether the rats in Scilly should be culled will need to be decided by the island's community. Some islanders, like Jane Pender and Tom Scott, have messaged us to claim the cull isn't right, and others claim the plan hasn't got the mandate of the community, as only 3 people attended the consultation. 2 were in favour of the extermination, 1 was against. Free condoms have been given out at a health fair at the St Mary's Town Hall, which in part has tried to encourage a safe sex message for the over 50s. A health and wellbeing and fitness fair has brought together a number of experts representing different areas of the NHS and bodies which promote exercise. The event's been put together by the Council's Alec Mompoloki. He says it's important for islanders to find out what support, help, advice and information is on offer. Emma Gardner came over to the islands to give advice on sexual health. Despite the intimate nature of the display in an open and public setting, she says islanders weren't as shy as you might think and came forwards to learn more. Emma says the advice was targeted at over 50s because they were not so much in the know about safe practices as youngsters, who received the information at a very early age. These are the current health concerns of islanders, pinned up for everybody to see. Carol Clark of the Island Health Watchdog, the Link organisation, posted up the complaints and comments in a display of concerns the group was going to prioritise. Carol says there were requests for more work to be done for deaf islanders. And there are also questions being raised by islanders on dentistry. But the town hall session wasn't all about medicine. It was also about keeping fit, and that includes swimming at the new pool at Normandy. Amy says it will continue to evolve its opening hours and facilities to meet islander needs. And the pool hasn't just been enjoyed by islanders, visitors too have been using the new attraction. Also at the session, the lifelong learning team from Carn Thomas. Tom Scott says their role in attendance was to enhance well-being. A team of volunteers from RNAS Culdrose has been working with the Wildlife Trust, clearing up overgrown areas of the garrison and picking up rubbish on Scilly's beaches. One of their major jobs has been to clean out a pillbox overlooking St Agnes. Julie Love from the Wildlife Trust says there's wildlife to see inside the former military installation. During the clean-up exercise, a well was found lower down on the hill, which could be connected with a military base. Dom Rotherham from the Culdrose team says it's all part of a training exercise. The 15 volunteers from Culdrose will eventually be trained to operate Merlin Mark I aircraft. Dom Rotherham says their trip to Scilly is all part of a team-building exercise. David Emery says the work on the garrison represents their first challenge as a group. There's been a fire at a property on Sallyport, and a 22-year-old male has been charged with arson with intent to endanger life. It follows the blaze that broke out at around 11:30 in the evening of the 14th of October. The occupants of the house were taken to St Mary's Hospital for assessment and later spent the night with local families. 7 firefighters were on the scene for about an hour. There's significant smoke damage inside the property, and the house has been sealed off for forensic investigation.